audible? Can you able to hear me? Okay. Okay, guys, we'll start. Okay. See, we have discussed about all the types of drivers. Today we'll start writing code using JDBC. I told type 3 and type 4 also have explained. Okay. I have explained yesterday about all the types of drivers. Suppose if we want to draw a diagram related to the type 4 driver. So you have a Java application. You have a type 4 driver, which is called a native protocol driver. Okay. And basically just you have one database. You have the Java application. You have the type 4 driver. Right. You can look at this. Okay. You can look at this. You have the Java application. Okay. You have the Java application. You have the driver. This is called type 4 driver, which is called native protocol driver. You have the native protocol driver. You have the Java application and you have the database. Okay. Now point is Java application. Okay. The point is Java application uses JDBC API. So today, suppose if I want to write a Java program, then which API that I'm going to use? JDBC API I'm going to use. Okay, which API I'm going to use? JDBC API I'm going to use. Oh, correct. So to write a Java application, I will use JDBC API. To write a Java application, I will use JDBC API. My Java application directly connects with the type 4 driver, which is called native protocol driver. What does it mean? This driver can directly speak to the database. This driver can directly speak to the database. Okay. What does it mean? Every database will understand a specific language. The specific language of the database is called a native protocol. Okay. The specific language of the database is called what protocol? Native protocol. Native protocol meaning it is a specific language that could be understood by the database. So this driver directly speaks to the database in their own language. That's why this is fast. It doesn't use any other API, or it doesn't use any other mediator driver like ODBC driver, or it doesn't use any server like a middleware server to connect with the database. It doesn't use any mediator. It directly speaks with the database in their own language. That's why this driver can connect our application with the database fastly. That's why these drivers are used in applications. Okay, right. Means what? This driver will send my query to the database in the language that can be understood by the database. Okay, suppose I'm writing one query. Let's say, for example, I want to execute a select query on the database to select the records from the table. Okay, then what application will do? Application will send a query to the driver, because the driver is mediator now. Now this driver will convert this query into the language that can be understood by the database. Right? Good. Who knows about that language? This native protocol driver knows. It knows that language. It will directly speak to the database. Right? It will send my query to the database in a format that database can understand my query. Right? Then database will execute that query, will return the result back to the driver. Now this driver will simply send that response back to the Java program. Right? Are you getting this point? See, concept is, if you look at the type 2 driver, type 2, type 4, both the drivers are having same diagram. But here in type 2, there is a native API driver. But this is what native protocol driver. The difference is native API driver means native API is not the language that could be understood by the database. Native API means it is a library developed in C or C++ program. It is not the database language. It is a C or C++ code. Okay, what is happening in native API driver? My JDBC driver means my Java driver is going to use some native library, that is a C or C++ library of the database. Again, that library will speak to the database. So there is a difference now. Here, what is happening? This driver directly speaks to database. In a type 2 driver, what my driver speaks to C library, that will speak to database. So there is a gap, right? Good. That's why when compared with the type 2 drivers, which type of drivers can give the better performance? Type 4 drivers can give the better performance. Right? Okay. Good. And second thing, suppose if you are working with the type 2 driver, what happens if, for example, that native API, that libraries of database like C libraries are missing, or they have not installed in my system? Then can I use the native API driver to talk to database? No, I can't. Okay, that libraries must be installed in the computer. Then only my type 2 driver can speak to those libraries. That libraries can talk to database. But here, what is happening? No libraries are required. I no need to install any client libraries of database and nothing. Directly, my driver speaks to database because it knows the database language. That's it. That's how it is different from type 2 drivers. Okay. In the last class, I told this. And more importantly, this driver is a pure Java driver. The type 4 drivers are pure Java drivers, which means they are platform independent drivers. Means what? This driver is implemented completely in which language only? Java. Type 2 drivers They are partially developed in Java and partially use a C language code. Means how can you differentiate type 2 and type 4 together? How can you differentiate the type 2 driver with the type 4 driver? Type 2 drivers are platform dependent. They are partially Java drivers, but this is pure Java driver, which means what? This driver is completely implemented in Java. This driver code, this driver software is developed in which language? Java only, no other language, only Java. That's why this is pure Java. If it is a pure Java driver, we can say this driver is what? Platform independent driver. Okay, good. But of course, one issue is there with this driver. What's the only one issue with this driver? The only one issue with this driver is it is a database dependent, because this driver directly speaks to database in their native language, in their own language. Tell me, MySQL is there, Oracle is there, PostgreSQL is there. Look at this. I repeat once again. First, let me copy this. Everyone, try to understand, guys. My intention is, I will tell you. I will slowly tell you. Try to understand this now. My question is, there are databases available. Let's say, who are the database available? Let's say, okay, I will write here. Let's say, for example, you take Oracle. Okay. The native protocol of Oracle is Oracle Net. Means what is the database language or the native protocol of Oracle? Oracle Net. Okay. For example, if you take PostgreSQL, it is one more driver. Sorry, one more database. Okay, correct? Its native language is PostgreWire. What is the native language? PostgreWire. PostgreWire. What is PostgreWire? It is the native language of PostgreSQL database server. What is Oracle Net? It is the native language of Oracle database. Oracle database can understand Oracle Net language. PostgreSQL database can understand PostgreWire language. Okay, my question to you. Okay, for example, there is a Oracle Type 4 driver. There is a Oracle Type 4 driver. Then tell me, this Oracle Type 4 driver directly speaks to which database? Oracle database. Means in which language it will speak with the database? In a language called Oracle Net. Then tell me, this driver can only speak to which database? Oracle. But this cannot speak to PostgreSQL, which means we have PostgreSQL Type 4 driver separately.
Hello, sir. Sorry for
PostgreSQL Type
this.
4 driver separately.
Sir, your voice is up and down continuously.
I can't do anything.
It's clear, sir.
Your voice is clear.
Yes, sir, your voice is clear. Might be some person is facing issues with the system.
For me also it is up and down, sir. Really.
Also, it is up and down.
So currently no voice, sir. Totally mute.
Yes, sir.
No voice.
what is the only one issue with the typo drivers? We need separate driver for each database.
So we can't
For
hear you,
example,
sir.
today, my database is already. Generally, once the
Hello, sir.
Still not audible.
generally database will not be changed. At the beginning of the project only, all the technologies, databases, servers, they are all decided. Okay, right. So today, example, today my program or my Java project
Hello, sir.
is using variety as a backend.
Sir is not listening, I think.
Suppose due to some reasons in the middle, for example, the database changing from variety database to
Hello?
PostgreSQL database. And
Hello,
then
sir.
the
Hello?
driver whichever are used,
Hello?
that driver can be able to connect with PostgreSQL or cannot connect with the PostgreSQL. It can't connect with
Sir,
PostgreSQL.
we cannot hearing anything, sir.
Yes, I can change the driver again.
Please.
From variety driver to PostgreSQL. That is the only drawback we have with type of drivers. But it is very unlikely. That's why it's not a big drawback. Because once the database is fixed
Hello?
at the time of project design, okay, all the technologies,
I
Raise
think,
your hand, guys. Raise your hand, guys.
databases,
I think he is taking the offline class as well. So
Uh-huh.
that's why we
Yeah.
have
Hello,
this.
sir. Sir,
very highly unlikely.
earlier we are hearing you properly.
Okay,
yes.
so that's the only one issue. That's the only one issue with this database. Am I clear with that? Good.
Is sir taking both online class and offline class at the same time?
Yes, we are going to. Oops, we are going to look at it. The next one. Let's start with that. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Let's go.
Since your voice is not coming, sir.
Hello?
Hello, sir. Hello.
You are not audible, sir. Hello?
Check once now. I have changed my mind. I have changed my mind. Can it's check once. I have changed my mind. Just check once. Okay. Okay. From my end,
Yes, you are audible now.
Yes, sir.
then
It's better.
yeah, it's okay for me now.
It's better now.
Okay, good. Guys, let me write some statements. What are the statements I want to include for typo driver? What is the meaning of native protocol? Native protocol means a specific language. See, native protocol means a specific language that a database can directly understand. That is called what protocol? Native protocol. Then tell me, this typo drivers speaks to the database servers or databases, whatever may be, in their own language. So they connect Java application with a database fastly. So they connect the Java application with the database fastly because they directly speak to the database in their own language. Right, okay? Next, one more thing is what? These type 4 drivers are pure Java drivers. So these are platform independent drivers. I repeat once again. Tell me these type 4 drivers are pure Java drivers. That's why they are what? Platform independent drivers. Okay, right. So these drivers are platform independent because these are purely developed in Java. But what's the drawback with this? What is the issue with these drivers? Yes, okay. Because for each database we have a separate driver. The limitation or drawback of this type 4 drivers is they are database dependent. They are database dependent drivers. It means okay, we need a separate driver for each database. Suppose if you change the database, what to do? Suppose if you change the database, then you also need to change the JDBC driver. Right? If you change the database, then you also need to change the JDBC driver. Right? Okay. So which type of drivers are used in production and all the real-time applications? Type 4 only. These type 4 drivers are used. These type 4 drivers are only used. No other drivers are used. Only type 4. These type 4 drivers are only used in the real-time applications. Okay. These type 4 drivers are only used in the real-time applications. Okay. Good. Real-time applications, I mean production. Okay. See, these type 4 drivers are only used in the real-time applications. Good. Now we have all the 4 types of drivers, but only which type of drivers are used only in the real-time applications? Type 4 drivers are used. Okay, good. Now, coming to today's topic. Today what we are going to learn is, suppose if I want to write one JDBC application, if I want to write a Java application to talk to the database and to execute some queries on database, there are some steps to be followed. So now we are going to understand about steps to write a JDBC program. There are some steps available, and we are going to discuss about what are the steps available to write a JDBC program. Okay, let's start with that. Good. Look at this. Yes. Let's start with. Steps to write a JDBC program. Okay, so there are certain steps available. So now we are going to understand what are the steps available to write a JDBC program. Okay, JDBC program is nothing but what? Java program only. JDBC program is nothing but Java program only. But our Java program wants to talk to the database, and my Java program wants to execute some queries on the database. Either it can create the records, or it can update the records, or it can delete the records, or it can select the records. We call these operations as in shortcut CRUD operations. What operations we call? CRUD operations. CRUD. We call them as CRUD operations. Okay, right. Let's see. See, first thing. Yeah. See, Step 1. Okay. These are the common steps, guys. I repeat once again. These are the steps to be followed in every JDBC program. Okay, common steps are available. Let's understand what are the common steps. Let's understand about common steps. Oh, listen. See here. Please listen. See, step 1. Okay, step 1. Okay, step 1. Let's start with. If at all I want to write any JDBC program nothing but Java program only. Okay, right? Why this technology is provided? This technology is provided to allow the Java applications to connect with databases. And why Java application should connect with the database? What is the use of connecting with the database? Need to store the data. Application has to store the data. Where application can store the data permanently? I told one is a file or second one is a database. But our requirement is our application should store the data in a database. And whenever it is required, my application should get back the data from the database. Okay, right. So tell me to store the data in a database or to get back the data from the database. Then my application should first connect with the database. Yes. So to connect with the database and also to perform operations on database, there are some steps to be followed by the program. What are the steps? First step, the program has to load a JDBC driver into the JVM. See, again, this is a little bit confusion point, but we can get it through clarity. What I'm trying to say, this is my Java program. Everybody, please understand this. Tell me, this is my Java program. This is my Java program. My question, Java program can directly talk to the database or there is a driver required? There is a driver is required. Either type 1 or type 1 drivers are removed from, dropped from Java 8 version. Type 2 driver or type 3 driver or a type 4 driver. One driver is required. Yes. Directly Java program cannot talk to the database because I told you Java program only contains Java instructions. Database instructions are SQL. Both instructions are different. So directly Java program cannot talk to the database. In the middle, what is required? One driver is required. Okay, good. Understand the concept clearly. Whenever I run my Java program, you have to understand this point clearly. Whenever I run the Java program, we know that our Java program will be loaded into JVM. Every Java program will be loaded into what? JVM. Okay, right? Now this Java program will be loaded into JVM. Right. Tell me the Java program should connect with whom? Directly it can't connect with the database, right? First it should connect with driver. JDBC driver. Good. Which means whenever my Java program is loaded into the JVM, along with my Java program, that a driver also must be loaded into JVM. When my Java program is loaded into the JVM, along with my Java program, what also must be loaded into the JVM? Driver also must be loaded into JVM. Okay, good. I repeat once again. When my Java program is loaded into JVM, then tell me along with my Java program, what also must be loaded into the JVM? Driver. So that my Java program can connect with driver. Now this driver can connect to the database. Okay, it can talk to the database. See, database is inside the JVM or outside the JVM? Database is outside JVM. Yes. Tell me, where is the database? Database is inside the JVM or outside the JVM? Database is outside the JVM. Simple example, suppose I am uninstalling Java software from my computer. Then tell me whenever I uninstall my Java software, database is also automatically uninstalled from my computer or not uninstalled? Not uninstalled. Are you able to follow me? Now you tell me. Database is inside the JVM or database is outside of the JVM? Outside the JVM.
Outside of the JVM.
Yes, it is outside. One more thing, that a database may be there in my local computer now, or this database may be there in some other computer in the network also. See, Java program I am writing in my laptop now, right? But a database I have in Ashok IT server. One more computer is there, server room. We have a server room, right? There is a computer, a big computer running in the server room. Now database is installed in that server room computer, but program I am writing in my local laptop, personal laptop. Then tell me, my Java program can connect with the database there in the server room? Yes. Where is the database now? In my same computer or in another computer? Yes, outside. Doesn't matter. We can able to connect like that, no issue with that. We can able to connect our Java program with a database available in some other system. I can write my Java program in my computer. I can connect with the database available in your computer. I can select the data from the table which you have in your database. I can select, no issue. We can write, that's an easy way. Just only IP address I need to change. It's not a big thing. Okay, good. So tell me, database is running inside the JVM or a database will run outside the JVM? Outside the JVM. But tell me, whenever my Java program is loaded into JVM, tell me along with my Java program, what also must be loaded into the JVM? Driver also must be loaded into the JVM. That's why step 1 is what? You have to write the statement for loading the JDBC driver into JVM. So how to load the driver along with my Java program into JVM? That's a question mark. And for that, we have to write one statement in our Java program. That statement is class.forName. So what is the statement? Class.forName. Guys, class.forName is a statement available. Yeah, class.forName is a statement available, and this statement we have to use. What is the use of class.forName statement? It will load any class into JVM. It will load any class into JVM. Now tell me, this time I am going to load the driver class into JVM. Which class into JVM? Driver class. Tell me to load any class, either driver class or non-driver class, any class into JVM. What is the statement in Java? Class.forName. In that, class is a class. Class is a class. ForName is a static method. ForName is a static method. I told oops concept is required here. Yes. Tell me, if a method is a static method, how can you call the static method? Static
Directly with
method
class
can be
name.
called directly with what name?
Class name.
Class name. Class name. Static method can be called with what name? Class name. Yes. Static methods can be called with class name. Okay. I would like to. Okay. I am writing a small piece of code. You guys can give me a reply on this. Look at this. I have one class. Class name is A. A is a class, just A. There is a static method available called M1. Static method available called M1. M1. I have a class called main. I have a method called public static void main. Okay. Assume that inside this M1 method, I am writing one SOP statement to print hello. Okay. Here I am creating
Or
ARF is equal to null. Class ARF is equal to null. Now I am writing ARF dot M1. Now I am asking, tell me what is the output of this code.
Hello, sir.
You got my question, right? This is a question I am asking. Then tell me what is the output of this code.
Output hello.
You can see here ARF is equal to null. ARF dot M1. If I write this code, now you can you say what exception or what output I am going to get?
Null pointer exception.
Yes. Output is hello. For the output now, hello is output. It is not null pointer exception. Generally, very quite commonly, what you know, if any reference variable has null value, and if you call any method on null value, then you are going to get what exception? Null pointer exception. But actually here you don't get null pointer exception. The reason I will tell you. Even though you call a static method with any reference variable, JVM will internally call it with the class name only. JVM will internally call it with the class name only. This type of questions will get in the interview. What is the output of this code? A, B, C, D options. Are you getting my point? Yes. Good. Again, I understand. Try to understand this. Okay. See. Yeah, you will get different questions. I can show you some sample questions of my company. Let's say I opened assessment 2. What will be the result of this code? You have a try block, you have a cache block, you have again throw in cache block, then there is a finally block. Can you guess any output of this?
Catch a random index out of bounds exception inside the catch. Finally, block executed.
So, okay. Yes. So just I'm showing a sample. I'm just showing a sample. The questions you will get. Okay, based on these answers. Okay, first we'll hire some freshers through some college, recruitment. Okay, we hire some freshers. We'll conduct assessments like this. We will cumulative of all the final assessments. We'll give one task also, and based on that, we will keep some people. We'll learn some people. Okay, right? 50% will be in, 50% will be out. Okay. Basic questions if you want to get. Basic questions if you want to get. The basic questions are here. Okay, good. We'll give options. Looks like all options are correct, but only one of them will be correct. only one of them will be correct. This is simple switch case only. It is very simple switch case only. Okay. Try the response of this switch case at least. I mean, try to find the response of this switch case.
Found tail and
Found tail.
row.
Blue for fountain.
What is the output of this question number 4?
Found
Found tail.
Default.
Default block.
default.
Yes. Very
No
good.
default because break
Answer is
statement
found
is there.
default. Answer is only found default, not found tail. Because you have to understand, strings are case sensitive. This is a T lowercase. This is still T uppercase. Okay, it'll take some time to understand this. Leave it because our session should go on. But okay, leave it. Come to the point. Come to the point. Yes. Come back. See my question to you. My question to you. When there is a static method, tell me static method can be called with what name? Class name. Suppose you are calling with object name, any reference variable. Suppose you are calling with a reference variable or object name. Then what happens now?
Internally it will call
JVM will
the
internally
class.
call it with the class name only, not with the object name. Even though object name contains null value, it doesn't throw null pointer exception because JVM is not calling with object name. JVM is calling with class name. Class name never contains null, right? Class name never contains null. Only object name can have null value, but a class name never contains null value. Am I clear with that? Good. Okay. First, tell me, step 1, we want to complete the steps to write a JDBC program. Guys, tell me what the first step of writing a JDBC program. First of all, we need to load the JDBC driver. Load the JDBC driver. Load the JDBC driver. Tell me, what is the syntax to follow to load the JDBC driver? Class dot per name of fully qualified driver class name. Okay. What is the meaning of fully qualified driver class name? Fully qualified means including package name.
Package.
Including what name? Package name. Package name dot class name is called as what? Fully qualified class name. See, for example, if I ask, what is the fully qualified name of system class? What is your answer? What is the fully qualified name of system class?
Java.lang.system.
Exactly. You are right. Java.lang.system. System is a class. You know that. But system is a class from which package of Java? Java.lang. Java.lang is called default package of Java. Yes, right? System class, string class, thread class, exception class. All these from which package only? Java.lang. Java.lang is a default package of Java, right? Which package is automatically imported? Which package is automatically imported? Java.lang package only automatically imported. Am I clear with that? Very good. Good. Suppose if I ask, tell me what is a fully qualified class name of ArrayList class? Java.util.ArrayList.
Sir, mute to all, sir, please.
Yes, Java.util.ArrayList. Because ArrayList is a class in which package? Java.util package. Java.util package. What is the fully qualified class name of completable future class? What is the fully qualified class name of completable future class? Java.util.concurrent.completable future. Okay. Java.util.concurrent.completable future. So this is in a package called java.util.concurrent package. In that we have a class available called completable future. Okay. So tell me, what is the meaning of fully qualified driver class name? It includes package name and class name. Package name and class name. That is called what name? Fully qualified driver class name. Okay. Example, class dot per name of, you see, Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot Oracle driver. Another example, class dot per name of com dot mysql dot cj dot jdbc dot driver. Some examples I'm writing. So tell me, the first statement loads which driver? Oracle driver. The second statement loads which driver into JVM? MySQL driver.
MySQL.
MySQL driver. Okay, good, good. Now, note from Java 8 version, loading the JDBC driver is optional in standalone applications. Which means standalone application means what? My application is not running in a server. My application is not running in a server. Then tell me, my application is going to become like a what type of application? Standalone application. For standalone applications, loading the JDBC driver is mandatory or optional? Optional. It is automatically loaded by JVM. That's why it's optional. Tell me, our JDBC programs, what we are going to write initially, they are all called what type of applications only? Standalone applications.
Standalone.
Then tell me, in my JDBC programs, loading the driver is mandatory or optional? Optional, because JVM will automatically load them. But next, after JDBC technology, we are going to start with servlet technology. In the servlet technology, when I'm writing database connectivity with the servlet, there I must load the driver. Because there my application is not a standalone application. My application is a server-side application. Very good. 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 Try to understand the concept what I'm trying to say. Okay. Tell me, what is the step 1? Load the JDBC driver. Load the JDBC driver. Next, we'll go ahead with step 2. Step 2. Guys, we are moving to step 2. Understand, everyone? Yes, guys, listen to me. We are talking about step 2. Please understand. Please understand step 2. Okay, good. Step 2 is open a connection with a database. Okay, open a connection with a database. Otherwise, obtain a connection with a database. Any word, either open or obtain, any word. Open or obtain a connection with a database. Okay, sure. See, guys, let's start with the syntax. Let's start with the syntax. Okay, see here. To obtain a connection with the database, there is a class provided in JDBC API called driver manager. There is a statement available. Driver manager is a class. In that, there is a static method provided called get connection. Driver manager dot get connection. Get connection is also what type of method? Static method. Driver manager is a class. Get connection is a static method. So static methods can be called directly with the class name. Because you know, static methods are belongs to class, not belongs to an object. Am I right? Yes. Static methods are belongs to what? Class, not belongs to what? object. Static methods are belongs to class and not belongs to the object. Object. Yes, you are right. Okay. Tell me, understand please. Tell me, to obtain a connection with a database, what statement I need to write in my code? I need to call get connection method of driver manager class. So statement is what? Driver manager dot what? Get connection. Driver manager dot what? Get connection. But again, you guys need to understand this. Okay. You guys need to understand this. I will tell you. Okay, I will tell you more on this. Look at this. Whenever I say driver manager dot get connection, it is going to produce me a connection. Everybody remember, this connection is an interface. This connection is an interface. It is an interface. I told already yesterday, JDBC specification provides some classes and interfaces, but for the interfaces, implementations are provided by vendors. Vendors. Understand clearly. Okay, right? Try to get the concept now. Tell me what is connection? It's an interface. Tell me who provides implementation of connection interface? Database vendors. Vendors will provide implementations. We no need to worry. Good. Whenever I call get connection method, what this method returns? A connection with the database. Nothing but it returns an object of a class which implements connection. Tell me, whenever I call get connection method, what get connection method returns? It returns an object of a class, returns an object of a class which implements connection interface. My question, who created that class which implements connection interface? Database vendor. Database vendor. Right? Good. Because we know who provides driver softwares. Driver softwares are provided by the database vendors. Database vendors. Okay. Understand clearly. In JDBC API, there are some classes provided. There are some interface also provided. But for the interfaces, who provides implementation? Database vendors will provide implementation. So connection is what? An interface. For this interface, who has provided the implementation? Database vendor. Suppose if my database is Oracle, my driver is Oracle driver, then tell me who provided implementation for connection now? Oracle. If my database is MySQL, MySQL has provided. If my database is PostgreSQL, PostgreSQL has provided the implementation. Very good. Tell me what get connection method returns? What get connection method returns? Get connection method returns an object of a class which implements connection interface. Okay, good. Please try to understand now. My question, do you know that class name? Do you know that class name? No. We don't know that class name. Which class name? We don't know that class name I'm telling now. Which class name we don't know? We don't know that class name which is created by the database vendor to implement connection interface. Are you able to follow me? Right, good. Remember, we don't know that class name. We don't know that class name, right? Because who creates that class? Vendor creates, not Sun Microsystems or not Oracle. Database vendor. We don't know that class name. But we know that what? That class implements this connection interface given by Oracle. My question, if you don't know the class name, but you know the interface name. You don't know the class name, but you know what? Interface name. Then can you store that object in interface variable or reference variable? Right now? See, understand. I am giving, see, one interface I am created. Interface name Ashok IT. What is the interface name? Ashok IT. One interface I have given to you. Interface name Ashok IT. I am asking you guys to write implementation class. Okay, right? I am asking you. For 5 members, I am asking you. Interface name Ashok IT. Right? I am giving this interface to how many people? 5. You are 5 developers. You are 5 programmers. To you 5 people, I am giving this interface. What I am asking, you write implementation. You 5 people use 5 different classes names, na? Yes. Whenever you are returning the object, I don't know your class, right? I don't know your class name. Then tell me, whenever you are pushing object back to me, I don't know your class name, but I can store that object in Ashok IT reference variable. Because I don't know the class name. But I know that what? Your class implements? No, your class implements my Ashok IT interface only, na? That's why whenever you are sending object back to me, I don't know your class name, but I know that your class implements Ashok IT interface. So I can store in interface variable. In which reference variable I can store now? Ashok IT reference variable. Okay. If you don't know the class name, but you know what? Interface name. Then what can you do? You can store that object in interface reference variable. Another example to understand it. This is slowly you'll get it now. Okay. There is an interface called vehicle. What the interface name? Vehicle. Vehicle is a simple example now. This is a gunshot example. Vehicle is an interface. I don't know whether you are returning car object or bike object or flight object. I don't know. Name is car or bike or flights. You are returning object. I don't know the class name. If you return an object, I can store that object in vehicle reference. Vehicle V is equal to. If you return bike object, then tell me in this variable V, what I am storing? Bike object. If I returning car object, in the same variable V, I can store the car object. In the same variable V, I can also store the flight object. Or I can store the train object also. Am I right or not? Yes. So tell me, the same concept I'm telling you. The same concept I'm telling you. Is this example is clear now? Okay. Done. So tell me, please understand. Tell me, whenever we call get connection method, what get connection method returns? Object of a class which implements connection interface. But my question is, who created that class? Vendor. Who created the class? Vendor has created. That we don't know. If you don't know the class, no problem. Because you know what? Interface name. That object you can store in interface variable. Interface variable. You got the concept now? Yes. Good. Listen to the point. Tell me, connection is a class or connection is an interface? Connection is a class or connection is an interface? Interface. It's an interface. Very good. Please understand. Our second step is we need to obtain the connection with a database. Tell me, to obtain the connection with a database, we should call driver manager dot which method? Get connection. Call get connection method of driver manager. It will provide a connection. But one more. While calling this get connection method, we should provide 3 parameters to it. How many? 3 parameters. The first parameter should be database URL. What the first parameter? Database URL. Database URL. You should provide input. If you provide the database URL, if you provide the username, and if you provide the password. If you provide the URL, username, and password as input arguments. Then this method creates a connection with the database and will return that connection. Because how to identify the database based on URL only. Based on what only? URL. Okay, you know. Okay, try to understand now. Database also an application only. Database is also an application. Database is an hardware component. Are you going to some computer shop and asking for Oracle driver, like how you are purchasing a laptop or mouse or a keyboard? Are you purchasing Oracle database also from computer shop? No, right? If it is a mouse, you are going to computer shop. You are purchasing Dell mouse, Logitech mouse, or HP mouse, like that. Right? It is hardware component. What about database? Suppose I am asking, we need Oracle database to start our first program in JDBC, or MySQL database to start our first program in JDBC. Are you going to one computer shop asking for MySQL database? It is also one component, one hardware component that are you going to get from computer shop? No. What are you doing? You are installing, you are downloading, and you are installing. Nothing but it is also an application. Okay, software only na. Every software is application. Every software is application, except the hardware remaining all applications only. Except the hardware remaining all applications only. Applications only. Are able to get my point? Right. Please try to understand now. Suppose I want to connect my computer with a printer. I want to connect this computer with a printer. With a printer, let's say for example, Canon printer. Am I going to one hardware shop? Am I going to one hardware shop and I'm asking for any printer component so that I can connect my computer with the printer? No, I have to install drivers. Which driver? Printer driver. Which printer driver? Canon printer driver. Go to Google, type Canon printer drivers I want for Windows 11 operating system. Download the software, double click, install, it will connect. Am I right or not? Nice. Understand clearly. Tell me, databases are also hardware components or software applications? Software applications. Everything is software. Right? Very good. Understand clearly. Database is also one software application. One application. One application. But my question is, how to connect with that application? If I want to connect with that application, I need the URL. What is that? For example, I'm asking, Facebook is a hardware or software? Software application. How do you connect with Facebook? By typing http://www.facebook.com. What is that facebook.com? www.facebook.com. What are you calling it? URL. URL. Tell me how to connect with a software application? With the help of URL only? Yes. Tell me, database is also one software application. How to connect with the database? By using its URL. By using its URL. Okay, good. Back to the point. Everybody try to understand. Okay, try to understand. My question is, if at all I want to obtain a connection with a database, tell me how many input arguments I need to provide? 3. What are the 3? First one is a database URL. Second one is what? Username, and third one is what? Password. Username and password are for authentication. Username and password are for what? Authentication. Authentication. If authentication fails, if your username is wrong or your password is wrong, then tell me, can you get the connection with the database? No. No. In Facebook also, after getting the login page, you are going to enter your username and password. If you type either username wrong or if you type the password wrong, when you click on the button, login button, can you log in? No. Same thing here also. Then tell me, how many parameters are required? Three parameters are required. What are the three parameters? Database URL you should provide as an argument. Username you should provide like an input argument. Password also. If username and password is correct, then you'll get the connection with the database. Very good. This is a syntax to open a connection or obtain a connection with a database. Example. Look at this. Once again, I repeat, there are some important points you guys have got it, but you guys need to get them clearly. Thing is, suppose I don't know the class name. Suppose I don't know the class name, but I know the interface name. Then I can store the object into interface reference variable. Okay, repeat the point. I repeat the point again. It's an important point because this concept is going to be repeated in our JDBC, in our servlet, not in JSP, but in servlet and JDBC, in both the technologies. Okay, right? I repeat once again. If you don't know the class name, but you know the interface name, that's it. Enough. What can you do now? You can store that object in interface reference variable. Yes. If I want to make it good clarity for you, please understand. I am writing two statements. Array list is equal to new array list. Just understand. List is equal to new array list. Tell me which statement is correct. Two statements are there. I'm asking, tell me statement 1 is correct or statement 2 is correct. Which one is correct? Both statements are correct. Both are correct. Simple. In the first statement, I know the class name. So in the second statement, let's say suppose I don't know the class name. Then tell me, can I store object of the class in the interface reference variable or not? Yes, I can store. This is correct. Both are correct. There is a difference in storing like that. Again, I don't want to go into that core Java topics, but I can tell you something that both statements are correct. No issue. Okay, right? Good. Come back to the point. Everyone, yeah. Please understand this. Example. Say, string, I'm writing database URL is equal to, I'll explain about this URL when we are starting with the code, but I can write like this: JDBC : Oracle : thin : @localhost : 1521 : XE. Currently understand, this is the database URL. Okay, this is the database URL. I will talk about this URL when we are writing the first program tomorrow, because we are going to write the code at that time. Currently, you can understand 1521 is a port number. Which port number? Database port number. What is the port number of the database? 1521. Because every database is a server. You are calling the MySQL server. Oracle is a database server. PostgreSQL server, SQL server. .NET people use SQL server. Every database is a server. If it is a server, definitely it runs on a port number. Server meaning provides a service. What a server can do? Yes, server can provide service. Okay, a server can provide service. A server can provide the services from a port number. That port is called socket. Again, that is networking. Okay, socket, server socket. These are all networking program. Okay, leave about that. This is the port number of the socket. 1521. So what is simply 1521? It is the port number of the Oracle database server. MySQL database server port number is 3306. What is 3306? Port number. Port number of which server? MySQL server. MySQL server. 5432. 5432 is a port number of PostgreSQL server. 5432 is a port number of PostgreSQL database server. 3306 is a port number of MySQL server. 1521 is a port number of Oracle server. Right. Fixed. These are fixed. Otherwise, at the time of installing the software, you can change it. Unless if you don't change it, by default, they will occupy these port numbers. Good. String. Username is equal to, let's say, system. String. Password is equal, let's say, tiger. Okay. Now tell me, my statement is what again? Connection. CONN, some variable equal to reference variable. It is called a reference variable. Driver manager dot get connection of same. What is the first variable name? Database URL. Database URL, comma, username, comma, password. Password. Okay, understand. Driver manager get connection of database URL, comma, username, comma, password. Password. Understand this point clearly. Okay, good. This is the database URL. I'll talk about this URL in the session tomorrow when we are at code. Next one is username. Next one is password. Password. We are done. We are done. Tell me so far, how many steps we have completed? 2 steps. Now, third step. Step 3. Create a statement object. See, these are the standard steps. I repeat once again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 steps are there. How many? 6. If you want to write any Java program, any JDBC program, or any Java program to connect to database and to perform some operations on database, how many steps you have to follow? 6 steps. Only 6. Now we are in third step. For the third step, create a statement object. Very good. I'll tell you why should I create a statement object. Look at this. Tell me step 2, what is created? What is opened? Once a connection is opened with a database, next we can send queries now. Of course, first my query goes to, exactly. First my query goes to driver. From my program, my query goes to driver. Driver talks to database in their own language. Nothing but my query is converted into their own language. Translation. Good. I'll tell you. My question is, first my query should be sent from my Java program to where? Driver. Are you able to follow me? Good. First my query should be sent to driver. To send my query to the driver, I need a statement object. Why? This statement object contains methods through which I can send my query from my Java program to the driver. Okay, I repeat once again. There are some methods available in statement object. These methods can send my query from my Java program to driver. Then driver will execute them on database. Will collect the output of the command. Will collect the output of the command. That output will be returned to my program. So tell me, my queries are going through driver, no? Yes. To send queries to the driver, we need methods. Those methods are available in this object. Which object? Statement object. So tell me, without creating a statement object, can I send the queries to the JDBC driver? No. No. That's why I need to create object. Okay, good. See how to create a statement object. Please understand. Statement stmt is equal to conn dot create statement. Okay, statement stmt is equal to conn dot create statement. Okay, good. We will complete all the steps today. Statement stmt is equal to conn dot create statement. So tell me, okay, so tell me by writing this statement, what object is created? Statement object. Without creating a statement object, I cannot send the queries from my Java application to the driver. If I don't send queries to driver, then driver cannot execute my queries on database. Good. That's why first I should create a statement object. So I'm done. Yes. Step 4. Guys, step 4. Step 4 will be execute the queries. Execute the SQL queries. Listen here. Listen here. Tell me, if I want to execute the queries, first of all, I should send my queries to whom? Database. In order to send queries to database only, already what object we have created? Statement object. Right. While sending the queries also, if that query is not a select operation, if it is a select operation, okay, one method is available. If it is a non-select operation, one more method is available. Are you able to follow me now? Right, good. See, I have to send my query to whom? Driver. Driver will execute on database. I know. But first my query must be sent to driver. To send my query to driver, I need one object? Statement object. But while sending the query also, I should tell the driver whether it is to select the data from database or to perform some updation on the database. Is it to update the data in database or to select the data from database? I should tell. For that, two methods are given. One method is execute update. What's the method name? Execute update. Tell me, by calling execute update, what JDBC driver can understand? Okay. By calling execute update method, then the driver can understand that what? This query is to modify the data in database. This query is to modify the data in database. Modifying the data means what? It could be inserting or updating or deleting, or even it can be modifying the database schema. Modifying the database schema means what? Maybe creating the table or altering the table or dropping the table, whatever it is. Except select. Okay, understand. So there is a method available called what? Execute update. So tell me, this method is to execute non-select operations. Non-select operations. Basically, I can write simply write operations. I repeat, to execute what type of operations? Non-select. Tell me, non-select operations are called read operations or write operations? Write operations. Select is called read operation. Except select remaining on writing only. Inserting means writing, updating means writing, deleting means also writing. Creating the table is also writing only. So except the selector, remaining all called what? Write operations. Write operations. Execute query. This is to execute select operation. Only select operation means read operation. Good. Example. Everybody understand. Example. I am writing a statement like this. Int count is equal to stmt dot. Who is stmt? Statement object dot. What's the method I'm calling? Execute update. Let's say, for example, I'm writing update emp set sal equal to 5000 where department number equal to 20. Okay. Good. Okay. Please understand. Okay. stmt dot. Which method I'm calling? Execute update. Why I'm calling execute update method? Because it is a read operation or write operation? Write operation. So the result I'm storing in a count variable. See, once updation is happened, some records are updated. How many rows are updated? How many rows are affected? That I want to store in count variable. If the count is equal to 10, which means 10 rows are affected, modified. 10 rows are modified. If 15 rows are modified, then count is 15. Suppose in department number 20, there are 15 employees working. How many employees are working? 15 employees are working in the department number 20. In the department 20, 15 employees are working. Then tell me, by this command, how many rows are affected? 15 rows are affected. The count will be 15. 15. Count will be 15. If, for example, no employee is working, count will be 0. Count will be 0. Why? There is no employee working in department number 20. No records are modified. If no records are modified, count will be 0. 0. Count will be 0. Able to follow me? Good. 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 Tell me, for the first method we have completed. Execute, update. Tell me, execute query is only to execute which operation? Read operation, select operation. Let me write. Everyone understand this. Okay, again, there is a new object I'm going to write here, result set object, that I will discuss tomorrow once we write the program. I can't explain right now because we need to discuss other steps too, and we want to complete all the steps for today's session. Okay. Result set rs is equal to stmt dot execute query select star from emp. Simple command. Okay, tell me, yeah. You guys have executed select star from emp command from SQL plus already. From SQL plus you execute select star from emp. Na? when you execute select star from EMP command at SQL plus, you got some output, na? Exactly the same output will be there in this object. What is stored in this object? Same output. Let me show you otherwise. But I will talk about this in the further. Don't worry. Let me come to. Anyhow, we have 2 steps remaining. That is very simple. Okay, we will use 2 databases in our class. One is Oracle, second one is MySQL. See, if I type select star from EMP, I don't know whether it is there or not. Okay, let's check. Select star from EMP. Yeah, I have. Tell me, if I read select star from EMP, okay, if I read select star from EMP, you got some output now? Tell me, exactly the same output will be stored in which object? Result set object. This is called what object? Result set object. Feel that it is a result set object. Whatever the output you got here, exactly the same thing will be stored into an object. What object? Result set object. That only I can explain for today. That only I can explain for you today. More I'll explain it tomorrow. Next. Guys, we are about to finish now. So tell me, step 4 is completed. Step 5. Step 5, just process the result. You got output now? Process the result. Suppose you got records, print one by one. Select star from EMP, you got some 17, 18 records, for example. You just print one by one record. That's called processing only. Yes. So step 5 doesn't contain much statements. Step 6. Close the connection. Close the database connection. Okay, let me write CONN dot close. Okay, what is CONN? Connection object. Connection object. CONN means connection object. Dot close. I'll tell you statement object also we can close. I'll tell you what happens if you close a statement. What happens if you don't close a statement? What happens if you close the connection? What happens if you don't close the connection? So there is a concept called as memory leak. What is the concept name? Memory leak problem. So you'll understand about what is memory leak problem. At that time, you will understand about why I should close them. What happens if I don't close them? Okay. What happens if I don't close them? What happens if I close them? There is a difference between both of them. We'll try to understand them in a concept called memory leak problem. I'll explain about what is memory leak. Good. I'll explain code also, but you can understand first what is memory leak, then code on memory leak. We'll discuss. So tell me currently, if at all I want to write any JDBC program or a Java program, then tell me JDBC program is nothing but Java program only, na? Right. Tell me if I want to write a Java program or a JDBC program, how many steps I need to follow? 6 steps I need to follow. Step 1, load the JDBC driver. Okay, load the JDBC driver. Okay. Tell me what is step 2? Obtain a connection with a database. Third step is what? Create a statement object. Step 4, execute the SQL queries. Step 5, process the result. Process means print the result. Step 6 is what? Close the connection. Out of the 6 steps, which one is optional for standalone applications? First step, I've given note. From which version of Java? Java 8. Loading the JDBC driver is optional in standard, not web applications, only standalone applications. Okay, right? Good. We are done for the session today. We got all the steps completed for today. Right? Good. 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute, folks.